everyone, this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS creative card video. In this video I'm using the Cherry Blossom stamp set. It's a stamp set from last year, but since the holidays are over I decided to go with a little bit of a more flower design for my video today. So in this video I will show you how to do very easy dot coloring. Also we'll do some creative masking. So let's get started. I'm using my stamp positioning tool to just position the branch with the cherry blossoms and the sentiment. So I'm just trying to position to fit both of those on my white cardstock panel. I'm using the Nina White Solar White cardstock. So in the first piece of cardstock, I'm using the Raven hybrid ink to just stamp and use this as a guide. And then to know the position of the sentiment as well of the branch. So I'll set that aside and I'm putting another piece of cardstock. In meantime, I'm removing the hug sentiment and I will just stamp the flowers. Again, I'm using the Raven hybrid ink. This ink is waterproof. Also, it's alcohol marker friendly. And I'll be using some alcohol markers to do my dot coloring. I'm stamping a few times to have nice and intense black coverage. So we're done now and we're going to move to the coloring before we stamp the sentiment. And if you're not really into blending or if you have trouble blending alcohol markers, this technique is perfect for you. Also, it's very relaxing and very fun to do. What you do is first you go with the darkest marker. Here, since I stamped a few times, I decided to quickly dry that ink so it doesn't smear when I'm coloring. So I'm just adding little dots in the areas where I want to be darkest. Next, I will move to the lighter color, the medium shade of the pink, and add more dots, kind of spreading those towards, I started from the base of the flower and I'm going towards the outside of the flowers. So I'm just adding more dots to line up, not really line up, but to expand that color onto the flowers. And don't worry if there are white areas, it looks even better. Can add more interest to the flowers. So now I'm going adding those dots with the medium shade of pink. Just continuing from where the darkest dots were. So now I'm going with the lightest. I'm going almost towards the end of the petals. I'm just leaving some white spots at the very tip of the petals. This is also very quick to do. Just add little dots and also you can overlap them. They will blend a little bit and it looks very nice. So now I decided to go with even darker color to add even more kind of that deeper shade of the pink towards the base of the flowers. I'm just adding a few dots here and there and those spots. So we're almost done here, and next I will move to brown for the branches. I'm using three shades of brown again, like I did for the pink. For the pink at the end I decided to add one more like that deep pink. But for the branch, because it's smaller area, I'm just using three shades of brown, and I'll do the same for the greens for a few of the leaves that we have on the image. So now I will go with the greens and add little dots onto the leaves. I'm going with the medium color now, and now with the lightest green. And now I'm adding a little bit of yellow, orange yellow onto the centers of the flowers. I'm adding two shades of yellow, nothing fancy. So now I'm trying to decide which sentiment to go with the hugs. So I want the sentiment and the strip sentiment and the hug sentiment to overlap. So I'm positioning it on my guide stamped image first to see where I want that sentiment to go. And then I'm going directly onto this colored panel. I'm stamping with black ink, the Raven hybrid ink. Stamping a couple times to have nice coverage. And now I'm covering the sentiment with post-it strip that's a 1/4 inch wide. Now I'm going back with that guide panel and positioning the hug sentiment to match the stamped image. And then I'm going on to the already colored panel and I'm stamping on top. We have already masked that strip sentiment on the bottom. So I'm stamping a few times to make sure that I have, again, the deep black and nice coverage. So we're done here, and I'm removing that post-it tape. And you can see how the sentiment and the strip sentiment and the hug sentiment overlap. I'm trimming the panel down to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm adding some adhesive on the back and I'm adding some craft foam that was cut to match the size. It was about 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now I'm creating my top folding note card. I use a piece of Nina Solar White cardstock. It was measuring 4 1/4 by 11 and I scored it at 5 1/2. I'm just adding that panel on the top. And our card for today is finished. So let's take a closer look at the card. And you can see the little dots and how fun this technique looks. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and also to subscribe to the LDRS Creative YouTube channel. Also visit the blog for more ideas and inspirations. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.